Hello there. So today's topic is how to not overthink when something comes up in your relationship. This is Shauna White, Heartfelt Intimacy Coach. I help people who struggle with anxiety that is sabotaging a good relationship to shift into a place of balance and clarity where they can feel seen and loved and connected with their partner in a way that flows naturally for both you and your partner. And I am just going to share this video with my group. Hang on a quick second. This will not take very long. I think I'm doing better at it today. Yes. I think I'm even going to, let me hang on, one more little thing here. Okay. Okay, here we go. So how to not overthink when something comes up in your relationship. Now, what is overthinking? In order to stop something, we have to understand what's the underlying dynamic that's even putting this in place, right? So overthinking is like, let's see, Byron Katie, I think, would say, I'm not sure if it's Byron Katie. A friend of mine gets into Byron Katie, so that's where I have the reference, but sort of getting into somebody else's business. Overthinking has this energy of trying to figure out what's going on over there in your partner. What's going on in your partner? Because something doesn't feel right to you and you want to figure it out so you can get back to things feeling right. So that's kind of the energy of overthinking, and the structure, so to speak, that underlies that energy, that results in that kind of an energy, is when you're anchoring into your partner instead of into yourself for love. So you feel like, well, your whole orientation in your relationship is that your partner is so important to you to allow you to experience love, that when something feels off, or there's a rhythm, there's a baseline, and then something changes from the baseline, it's like, uh-oh, something's different, something's not right. And that gets scary because there's a ripple in the connection that you're counting on for experiencing yourself as being loved. That kind of energy dynamic of leaning into your partner to feel loved, and it gets aggravated when something changes in the rhythm between you, or an issue comes up, and then the anxiety comes up and the overthinking comes up, and the way that you interact with your partner from that place particularly aggravates. Hello, someone said hello. Thank you. That particularly aggravates your partner's feeling like they can be themselves. The art of relationship is how to be yourself and allow your partner to be him or herself while you are also in an intimate dance. And it's a lot of people experience that it's either or. To be in an intimate dance with someone, your focus goes away from you. You don't know how to be yourself, and you lean into the energy of your partner. And doing that feels good in a certain way. And also, you might enjoy that when your partner does that, because that feels secure. That feels like my partner really loves me because they're leaning into me. But the problem is that then when you want to breathe and be yourself, sometimes you have to pull back from that. If you don't know how to do both at the same time, then you have to pull back from that intimacy in order to feel yourself. And so when something comes up that makes you feel anxious and you get into overthinking, it might be that your partner is actually trying to reconnect with themselves, himself, herself. Your partner is just trying to do what feels right for self in the moment. And in that moment, it's different than being together. So sometimes there's something else going on. But very often it's just this. It's just this simple. And that is, that's the consequence. That's the drag about anchoring, excuse me, anchoring into your partner as your source of love. Excuse me. It's the way that your energy interacts with your partner as a result of that way of anchoring, which then creates a little bit of a suffocating or a little bit of a cloistering towards your partner, and that pushes your partner away. Now, the other drawback to this energy dynamic is that underneath, or if we go deeper inside the structure, underneath all of that, for you, most likely, there is, I mean, like 99.9% of the time, there is an inner running for love outside that puts you out of balance inside yourself. And that doesn't feel good. It only feels good when you feel like you're getting the feedback from your partner that reassures you that you are loved. But that's not really the most empowering way to experience feeling loved. So how do you get out of this? How do you, and anyone here who's seeing this at the same time, thank you so much for saying hello. Say hello again, or if you haven't said hello yet, please say hello. You can say, that you're catching this live, or you could put in the comments that you catch the replay. All that is fun for me. So if you feel like doing that, I invite that. So how do you get out of this energy dynamic that is experienced as overthinking and comes with all of this overbalancing towards your partner that pushes your partner away? Thank you so much. Thank you for loving this. Okay. What you need to do is you need to rebalance your energy on the inside, and you need to connect with love on the inside, on the core, in the core of your being. Now, this is not about an idea of love. So this is not about like, if I love myself, then I get myself an ice cream. Or, I'm going to say self-care is important. If you love yourself and you feel like going for a walk, if you feel like going for a walk is loving yourself. Self-care is loving yourself. I don't know if getting an ice cream really qualifies, because I'm not sure how much that's actually self-care versus like an emotional treat that's has drawbacks. But in any case, whatever. I'm not talking about acting out an idea of love with yourself. And I'm not talking about thinking well of yourself, even though that is also important. Self-care is important. And thinking well of yourself is important. But when I talk about rebalancing your energy to connect with love inside, what I'm talking about is connecting with the energy of divine love in the core of your being. And this is something that saved my life. I would have been living a soap opera to this day, and I would have been a high functioning, emotionally stressed out, people pleasing, overthinking person to this day if I didn't learn how to connect with the energy of divine love in the core of my being. And this is at the core of how I help people in their relationship. When you connect with the energy of divine love in the core of your being, which is something that we're not taught that we can do, nor are we taught how to do it in the general society by and large, right? When you do that, your sense of self-worth, which has been suffering, which is why you feel like you need someone to tell you that you're loved. Your sense of self-worth, when you connect with that energy in the core of your being, it moves into a healed state. It moves to a state where you know that you are loved, because you are love itself. Like the cells of your being become filled with this energy of love. And you know that it's preposterous to ever have thought that you aren't loved, because how could love itself not be loved? It's like it makes you want to laugh that the question is so preposterous. And this feeling is like this, it's palpable. You can feel it physically. You can feel this warm love energy in the core of your being. Now, that is an advanced skill, in a sense, to actually be able to open your heart chakra that way. In other words, there are many steps along the way, and there can be many blocks along the way. But what I can assure you, based on my own experience and the experience of my clients, there are many benefits that calm and soothe the overthinking beast on the way to that depth of inner connection. So, that's the picture of overthinking. I actually have a meeting coming up myself, so I'm going to have to hop off. But let me leave you with this. If you feel like overthinking is driving you nuts in your relationship, you have a good relationship, but overthinking is driving you nuts and is driving your partner nuts, and you want to know more about how you can train to experience a deeper interconnection with yourself so that you can anchor into love within yourself and let all of these overbalanced dynamics just melt away, then please send me a private message and let's have a conversation. We could talk about your situation, what's going on for you, what you want, and what it looks like to work together to solve that. Doesn't mean you have to work with me, but if you'd like to know more about that, I invite you to reach out to me. All right. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you very soon. Okay, bye for now.